Do you like his
Arcane Precision Podcast?
No?
You gotta ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Violence is never the answer. It's the solution.
Dodge this.
Pull the lever, Grunk.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Arcane Precision. I don't even know the last time recorded. I think it was beginning of February is when we released it, I believe. So it's been a minute, and I'm Kyle, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
I'm Owen. Last name depends on how many rounds in a tournament.
And I'm Eric.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Have you met our new co-host, Owen?
Yes, I'm Owen. I don't know how to set up my microphone and headphones.
That's all new, right? You got a new laptop. You know, that's the excuse.
For context here, we have been trying to record an episode for the past month or so.
It's all good.
This is the third laptop in 2 months.
So, what is everyone playing these days? John, what have you been playing? What have you kind of settled on, you think, after seeing the updates and having a few months?
I like houses.
Houses?
Yeah,
You-
yeah. I
Okay.
settled on two slaughterhouses. That's
In this economy?
Hey, you can print them now, Eric. You can print them. They just came out.
I have literally downloading the files right now.
You got your resin printer out yet?
No, that's the slaughterhouse is gonna be FDM. A lot of resin. We'll see. Maybe in the future I'll resin print it. But
Just hollow it out or something. It's fine.
I think they actually come. I was talking with someone, and Steamforged is working with people who specifically do 3D modeling for resin miniatures. So they don't run into the issue of what happened with some Trench Crusade models where they weren't hollowed out correctly and they could explode.
oh, fun.
Yeah, I did hear about that. That's not great.
Yeah, I was talking to Dan from the Buffalo area who went to Gamma, and he was talking about how that was a topic that came up, and SFG said that they work with these specific modelers for it to prevent that. So I haven't downloaded any of these new models yet. I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to see what kind of army I can print.
Any of the printable armies catching your eye right now, or are you?
Gonna be on Gravediggers, I think, for the foreseeable future. But I mean, I know John's on Grimkin, but that's always been one of those factions I've been looking at. Convergence has also been one of those. So it's just the models are really nice looking, and I feel like Convergence would paint up pretty quickly with some metallic and some dry brushes and some glow effects.
Oh, for sure.
I always wanted to do the Golden Army from Hellboy.
I remember back in Mark II, there was like back on the old forums, someone posted their paint job of a Convergence army as the Golden Army from Hellboy 2, and it was it looked really amazing.
I probably wouldn't do it justice, but it's always been something I saw and I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah, I picked up a bunch of Convergence from David because he had like 3 casters worth, probably like it was like 3 casters, 2 colossals, I think, like a bunch of stuff, but not really, and then like one of each Jack, I think. So it's like I've got a bunch of Convergence, but it wasn't really compelling to play them necessarily because it was like, well, there's a lot of models that I would want to play if I were to actually get this tabletop ready. But now I can just ask one of my generous friends who has a 3D printer.
Yeah. Uh, just kind of speaking with the 3D printed stuff, the Frontier, it ended with 1,277 backers and raised $318,000, almost $319,000, which is
Wowzers.
the highest sales for a Frontier since it's been on my mini factory. So that's very impressive.
That is.
God damn.
I mean, 3 full armies. So now I have 3 full armies. Pharaoh when they come out, Dark Operations, and I'm probably
Crucible
could get
Guard.
someone to get. I probably could, yeah, Crucible Guard as well. So 6 printable armies, which is insane.
Yep.
And
More to come.
yeah, because the next one they said that's been teased is what, Black Fleet after Pharaoh.
They did tease that at Adepticon. It wasn't a confirmation necessarily, but
That's true, but they did say a boat. And then they showed Tartarus, who, for some reason, like he did a lot with undead, but was in the Black Fleet.
I think it was Terminus, not Tartarus. Tartarus was the
yes,
Bane Thrall
Tartarus is the
solo.
solo. Yes, Terminus. I would love to see a new sculpt of him.
Maybe he'll get the Lucan treatment.
Oh, 80 mil. Oh, that'd be sweet. Somewhere where his hand isn't just all sorts of messed up.
He's been dead a while, you can be a little messed up.
It's true. It is true. You think we're going to see a big resurgence of these older factions now that this is available? Like, you think we're going to see more Infernals, which none of us really want to see, but
I think we're going to go through a period of time where a bunch of people are trying Infernals. And then realizing that, yes, Infernals are really strong, but the reason they're putting up the results they're putting up are because the people playing them are at the top level are very good at the game.
yeah.
Oh no, their win rate.
Oh, this is actually the worst thing that could happen for us then, because now their win rate's going to be artificially deflated.
Yes.
They'll get buffs in the next patch.
Please no.
Please, everyone, play Grimkin.
Yeah, John. So, what other than the houses in Grimkin, what caught your eye? Like, why off of Trollbloods all of a sudden right to Grimkin as soon as you saw those changes?
Yes, so serious answer. I really liked the changes. I enjoyed playing Grimkin before, but against a player that didn't know what I was doing, it felt a little bit gotcha. And if they knew what I was doing, it felt a lot less strong. Because they knew when to force me to play my arcanas. And now where you can just play them on command, for me it's a lot easier to wrap my head around it as far as playing it. And also for my opponent, they know what's coming, and it's not oh, all of a sudden I interrupted your turn to do something that's gonna screw you up. And I feel like there's a lot of strong interactions that, because this army is not played by a ton of people, they might not be obvious right away. And I always like that. I always like, unlocking things and trying new things, and not just, okay, this is what works, this is what the meta decided that works, and I'm just gonna play that till I get used to it. And I kind of feel that that's where Brines are headed, even though it's basically the Fire Quill show and Orga or add another caster.
It seems a lot of the people have settled on Thorga Firequill as the main.
Yeah, Thorga Firequill. There's Cosmo is playing War Chief Bugatti Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out plus death feats in a lower accuracy environment are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It seems a lot more solved than Grimkin. And one thing that I have noticed personally is that while I don't hate playing gun lines, I don't play them very well. And I'm struggling to play them because I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but there's just so many activations and it takes me so much time to do that I don't get the most out of a gun line usually. And that's been a problem for me since back in Mark II. I just couldn't play gun lines. And for it to be like the main list in an army, I just feel like I'm not getting the most out of it if I'm not playing a gun line. And as far as Grimkin goes, I don't have to play a gun line because they don't really shoot all that much. Although they do it better now. But yeah, I don't have to worry about that too much.
A little ironic that the caster you spent most of last year trying so hard to make into a thing suddenly not only becomes good but meta defining, and you immediately switch to another faction.
Yes, I'm a little bit of a hipster. But it also he
I liked
totally
Firequill before he was cool.
he totally changed. Like I know that I can play him with 2 kings, and that's probably what I would settle if I were to play Brine Bloods right now. But the list that's really good, it has a lot of infantry, a lot of activations.
Well, he used
And
to be a battle group focused
right, yeah,
gun caster, so you would take a bunch of ranged beasts with him.
right.
But now it's just it's all of them. So he got the 4 quartermasters list.
It turns out when all guns are boosted, that's good.
Right,
More,
yeah.
more guns is better.
For sure. Oh yeah, I've been enjoying playing Grimkin, and we'll see. Who knows? Like in a month, I might be back on the Brian's train, but so far I'm enjoying doing that. So yeah,
Well, John, there's an event happening in a month.
what's going on in a month?
Poker Brawl.
Oh shit, that is in a month.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So yeah, we're on the Grumblekins train till at least Boker Brawl.
Hey,
It'll be
Kyle,
all right.
get painting.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah, how about you guys?
um, yeah, Eric, what are you playing?
Well, still on House Callus. Uh, eagerly now awaiting Fane of Nero.
Yeah.
Really want my giant bat sharks.
That can just take the place of a warrior model with hunger.
Yeah, I didn't quite I see like all the notes from the AMA that they did, but apparently they did get into a bit of what their hunger mechanic was, and it involves like swapping places, uh, which seems neat. Uh, and I do enjoy the idea of just like having a more hit and run play style, but I don't know necessarily how that's gonna uh, play with this current like scenario packet or just in general in a game that like really rewards you for doing a lot of damage at once. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off. But even from just like looks and aesthetic standpoint, I'm all in on it. So, and I need a Fury faction as it is. So,
That's the next faction after Kithgard gets everything out, correct?
yep. They said pre-orders are going up in later this month, I think.
Oh, your poor wallet.
I'm not gonna lie, the aesthetic for Fane and Nero really calls to me. That whole Castlevania vampire vibe, it definitely draws me in. I might
well,
get some models just to paint at least.
well, what you need to get another House Callus army so that you can sell it at Boker, and you don't have a whole lot of time to do it.
Yes, mandatory dust.
Yeah, you got to keep the tradition alive.
Yep.
But yeah, I've kind of I think fallen into the pairing of Moraine and Cyrafel, not really for tactical reasons, but because they're the two casters I'm enjoying playing the most. And I've also kind of felt since the update that like no matter what pairing I end up settling on, I'm leaving several fairly common matchups on the table anyway. So if you can't cover all of them, you might as well have fun.
Right.
Fair point.
That seems like a decent pair, though. I mean,
It is. I think it's one of those things where it's like it's like if I run into old Umbri, I would prefer I think Helith in the pairing, but against a lot of other stuff, I would prefer having Moraine. Cyrafel remains the best anti-gun line list that I've come up with, so that's pretty important to have these days.
right.
Definitely.
And how about you, Kyle?
Yeah,
You said Gravediggers before.
I'm playing Gravediggers currently. I was toying with the idea of going back to Storm Legion at least till Boker at the end of Boker. But then an accident happened with Thunderhead, and I quickly gave up on that for the time being until I get the pieces to John, so he can bring Thunderhead back to life.
I will be the necromancer.
Your dog destroyed Thunderhead so thoroughly that you're not even playing the army anymore.
Yeah, I didn't even get to play Thunderhead.
It just sucked the life out of.
Well, you were already kind of having some assembly issues with it, weren't you? Like,
yes, and I had just gotten it all together.
Pieces were breaking or not fitting together right, and then you finally got it together, and your dog absolutely wrecks it on you.
Yes, it happens, and I'm just like, cool. I'm gonna put this in the box and go back to something else for now, and I'll come back to it at some point.
I shouldn't laugh because that does really suck, but
it reminds me of a time I bought a not a siege crawler, the dwarf colossal. I bought that used one time, and it came, and it was just completely destroyed, like from shipping. And I just closed up the box, put it back on the shelf. I just put it on the shelf, and I still have not opened that box again. And that was beginning of Mark III. It still sits there.
So like what, like 8 years ago?
Yes, because I was just like, this is not something I want to deal with.
I can just picture that.
Oh God! This is gonna be a bit off topic here, but are you familiar with a book called "John Dies at the End"?
I've heard of it. I have no idea what happens in it, other than probably the title.
I don't like it already.
So without going into too much detail and getting too far off on a tangent, it's about these guys. Think of it as like Harold and Kumar at the Mountains of Madness. These two slacker stoner types end up getting the ability to see like ghosts and demons and parallel dimensions and things. And through this, they become like like the only people aware that there's like a extra dimensional invasion from eldritch horrors happening, and they're the only ones who can stop it now. And yeah, at one point they've got this monster in like sectioned off in a room of a house, and they just one of them goes like, "Okay, hang on, I got an idea," and they leave the room. He closes the door and says, "Okay, as long as nobody ever opens this door." And the other guy's like, "Yeah, we'll put up a sign or something."
Yeah,
Just just leave the Earthbreaker in the box.
that's what it is. Earthbreaker. Yes, no, it's gonna stay there for probably ever until I either get rid of it or decide I want a project like that. Yeah, I mean, so it seems like we all kind of have an idea. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what Menoth is going to be like, but that's not until October, November.
Probably, and that kind of assumes like everything goes smoothly with the remaining Kithgard and all of Fane.
And then they have some other releases sprinkled in there that they were talking about. There's some 80 mils that are coming out. A new junior, or I don't want to say junior, 80 mil cohort with caster.
True Merc.
Yeah, True Merc, that's what it is. That one's Constance. I'm unsure about how I really feel about it being able to work with every faction, since lore-wise,
Don't worry about it. Model's cool.
model's cool.
Yeah.
Does look
Horsehead
pretty cool.
on Gallant is definitely different, and I'm here for it.
It looks like one of those the droids in Star Wars, the like the Clone War droids.
Yeah,
Roger.
Yeah.
I 100% bet you will see someone paint that main rainbow.
It'd be me.
There you go, John. Do it.
I do like the colors.
I was about to say the person who's going to do that is in the room with us right now.
I'm obsessed with vaporwave, so
You have been doing a lot of vapor waves lately.
yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a while since we recorded, and I know we're kind of talking about things that have been happening over, pretty recently, but kind of just want to go over real quick some events we've been to. I know some of them go back as far as, Captain Con. So Eric, why don't you start off and just kind of talk about, from how you feel things are in this new year of Warmachine, essentially, since we haven't recorded since we saw the rules in Steamroller.
Okay, well, I was able to attend Captain Con, participated in the team tournament, and this was only a few days. Like I had one game with post update between the update and Captain Con, so very Wild West for me anyway. I ran Helith and Cyrafel, and kind of had a sort of a prototype version of the Cyrafel list that I'm running now, and unfortunately haven't dropped Helith since. But I also kind of found like the list I was running for her, like it was pretty good, I think, but it's not it. Like it's is definitely still lacking something. I ended up going 3-2 on the day. Had losses with Helith into both Sabrith and Sikora, and wins with Cyrafel into Boris and Kane with Gravediggers. And my final match was a win with Helith against old Umbri. What's his name? Man Bear Man.
Morozov or something like that.
Morozov, yes. Yeah, so overall, a pretty good day. Had some rust to shake off in the early rounds because, like, that one game that I had after the update but before the con was the first time I had played in over a month. So, there were uh, definitely some rookie mistakes that I made early in the day that cost me pretty dearly. But had great games, met some cool people, and always fun to travel for these things. Then the other tournament that I've got a bit of a report for was about a month or so ago at the in Cortland, New York, run by our one of our locals. I played Moraine Cyrafel for this one. Round one, I played into Cody, who dropped Agathon into me and assassinated me on the top of 2. We don't need to talk about that. Round 2, I played Moraine into Firequill. Was able to shoot the Abyssal King off the table, and from there it was just kind of like, okay, now I just got to make sure I assassinate him before I lose on scenario. We were playing Fault Line, and my opponent went second, so it was very explosive. He kind of was able to get out to an early lead, and the Lakabash brothers sitting between two 40mm objectives is super annoying, it turns out. But I was able to end up getting the assassination. Silena with Prey and Mortality is a terrorist, and I still have yet to get some big pursuit plays off, but it's coming. I know it's coming, and I'm very excited. And my final match of the day was against Phil from Buffalo. I played Cyrafel into his Lilith. We had a very high scoring game, but none of us quite able to pull away. But I was steadily losing out on attrition because Lilith, it turns out, can just almost ensure a crit stagger every turn with Deadeye and Prescience. So it can be very hard to bring your full force to bear, and she's very hard to pin down if your opponent is savvy enough to make sure she gets a kill with her spray while also staggering a heavy or something. So she was able to kind of do a lot of hit and run sort of stuff on me while really disrupting, but I was able to get off a force hammer assassination. I was able to force hammer Skilla into Lilith and then get an Eidolon with a Dawn Blade onto her and just hit her a whole bunch of times. So went 2-1 on the day, and I think a loss to Cody shouldn't count. So there.
I mean, how dare you leave your deployment zone?
Hey, in 98% of the games I've played, my caster would be just fine standing where she was. But it was my second drop ever into Infernals, and it's like I read Agathon's card, but didn't quite process that he's got a funeral rites equivalent, but it's for all his warrior models and teleport. So Cody saw that I had kind of activated all my stuff on Agathon's side of the table already, so he was able to teleport forward and and it's like, yeah, now you're in spell assassination range, and I'm just like, yeah, I am definitely in spell assassination range, aren't I?
That's rough.
Yeah, it is rough. I don't want I'm not down on the fact that this happened or anything, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I won't get got by that in the future, but it does mean like next time I play that, it's probably just means I'm gonna clock, because it's like I'm gonna spend so much time thinking about all of the shit Agathon can do to me, and it's like, okay, I need to spend a lot of time in the tank avoiding exactly that. So yeah, not so not a perfect solution, but it's the cognitive load of playing against a list like that is pretty high. To say nothing
Really?
of Cody just being very, very good at Warmachine.
Yeah, no, I mean him and most of the Buffalo guys, same thing. John, what about you? What do you got to talk about game wise? I know you've been going around a couple events.
Yeah, I've been, visiting places. The last place I went to was Ottawa, and unfortunately, I couldn't make the Cortland Steamroller because it was a bad day. My daughter's birthday was on that weekend, but I made it out to Ottawa to get some games out there. I know I went there last year and I had fun. It's a good group of people up there. And, yeah, it was definitely a Shark Tank. I mean, I was expecting it, but, I had some good games there. I brought, Grimkin. That was my first time playing them with the new rules, and I went with a comfort list, which is Wanderer, which I've been playing, I've played from before. It plays a little different now, with all the changes, but it's still uh mostly the same. And then I brought some jank King of Nothing with I believe it was Magnus, Invictus, and a bunch of shooting stuff. I had that list had uh, two clockatrices. It had some. I always forget their name. Frightmares. The turduckins because it's like a horse eating something else. Um, and they're actually decent now. They're cheaper and they shoot fairly far. So for a light, they're okay, and they have a good animus. Like eyeless sight on a stick is pretty good.
Hear that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. So I brought that, and I played mostly that because I wanted some practice with King of Nothing. I've been enjoying his kit, at least from a list design and reading rules and stuff. And in play, his kit is decent. He's still very janky and like very unorthodox.
With old man
When
stats.
Yeah, with all the crazy stuff that he does. Uh, I honestly just love that he has a 16-inch control range, and with all um the Arcana becoming control range, I think he's definitely in the conversation for casters, even though most people don't go for him. Um, so the way I think he is going to play in the future, at least for me, is to leverage the fact that he got a new spell. It's Breath Stealer, I believe it's called. And it's model unit. It's an offensive spell, and the model unit receives -2 defense and -2 speed. Um, so you combine that with uh, Labyrinth, which is another -2. Combine that with effects like the Cockatrice has. I can't remember what the Animus is called, but it's basically another -2 speed in within 6 inches of it, and you can stack the speed debuffs like a lot. Not to mention if you play it with the house that has undergrowth, where things become rough terrain. Pair that with Bad Bunny, Zacchaeus, where he can turn off things like Pathfinder within a big, it's a 10-inch bubble. You definitely get some movement debuffs there that can control the board, I think, and I just have to figure out how to play them where they're most effective. But I think once I figure it out, it's gonna be pretty good. So yeah, the tournament was basically me trying to figure that stuff out, and of course, I got to go into hard mode and play Kane first round. And it was the better Kane too, in my opinion, Gravedigger's Kane. Um, and I found out really quickly that Grimkin does not like headshot and can't remember what else. Just a lot of RFP. Turns out that when you rely on your stuff gaining corpses from your own death, and it's denied by RFP, it doesn't feel too good. So he won that game. My opponent, lovely opponent, he was a pretty cool dude. He used to actually live around in this general area. He was around Fort Drum a few years back, so we chatted about that. But as far as the game went, like it was very very heavily in his favor, and I tried clawing back a little bit. Trying to leverage the whole movement thing, and but unfortunately, I just don't have enough practice in the list, and I ended up clocking on that one. And he had
Kane's
a
a
pretty
dick.
he had a pretty good scenario lead as well. Um, so that game happened, and then my next game. Speaking of Agathon, that's my next my next opponent was playing Agathon, which is another. It turns out it's another tough matchup for good old King, since he wants to sling spells everywhere, and uh, his Agathon's battle group is spell immune. So it was a little rough. I did make him work for it a bit, stacking the movement debuffs. Um, but eventually I couldn't keep up with infernals. They have models for days, and they kind of just wear you down. I did survive an assassination attempt. It was a pretty low commit assassination attempt, but I can say that I survived a Agathon assassination with old man stats, king of nothing.
Well, that's way more than I can say for myself.
But I still lost that game. Um, so then the third game that I played against was also Kane, but this time it was in Storm Legion, which I'm a little more familiar with, since Kyle has played a lot of Legion in the past. Um, and yeah, still didn't like getting shot at, but in this scenario, I opted to play Wanderer, um, just because I felt a little more comfortable playing him, and I wanted to see what uh the new list that I made was basically just Wanderer and a whole bunch of dudes. I max out on Dreadrots, max out on the Hollow Men, um, which the Hollow Men now are defense 13. So Starcross defense 13. That's the magic number there. Um, it it was okay. Again, don't like getting shot at, but he was playing with Big Pig, and I was able to get Big Pig to lose eyeless sight. because Zacchaeus has the bubble of you lose a whole bunch of stuff,
Mhm.
and that worked for a little bit until I realized that what's her face Iris was hanging out behind a rock that I had no clue that she was behind, and she just basically walked around around the rock and just killed Zacchaeus, and then he proceeded to shoot me more. Um,
That
I
does happen.
I did make a decent play where I just flooded the middle, like basically just bum rushed into Kane um to hopefully not lose everything and try to get them the next turn, or at least to tie them up and be aggressive on scenario. And that almost worked. I did play, I still played a little slow, just trying to figure out how to naggle everything. And I did quite a bit of work against Kane where I left him on 5 boxes, but Kane on 5 boxes is almost a dead Kane. I just had to connect one more attack, and unfortunately my dice went a little cold at the end. And I couldn't seal the deal, so I couldn't win that one either. So I went 0-3, but it's okay. I learned a lot, and yeah, I had a great time. Good group of guys up there, and I definitely would love to. I actually would love to bring some of our locals there for steamroller. I think that would be fun. And I
Definitely.
got some sortilege. I stocked up for Boca Brawl, so
Priorities.
that's the real win right there. That's my moral victory. Oh yeah. Who's next on the tournament?
Well, I think you also had another event that we can all talk about.
When's that one?
Our very own local steamroller back in mid-February.
Oh, that one. Yeah, we didn't talk about that one last. No, that's right, because it was in February.
Nope,
Huh.
hadn't
We
occurred
haven't
yet.
we haven't recorded for a long time. Oh man. You want me to talk about my games, or I'll see what I can remember.
Well, yeah.
I
What you can
played.
remember.
Yes, I played. Oof, I don't remember. I know I played Trey in the last round. Played against one of the newer Buffalo guys. I played against his Cricks, and then I think I got
And Phil,
Phil. Yes,
Sean, and Trey.
yeah, Phil. Phil first round. The Phil game was yeah, Phil's definitely I think he's leveled up since the last time I played him. It was
I was noticing in the Adepticon IG qualifier, I think he went 4-2 in the IG.
yeah, he's definitely leveled up.
So no, he's been doing quite good.
He's always been a good player.
I definitely
It's just
definitely
that
got away with something when I played him in Cortland.
yeah. I definitely noticed that he's um yeah, and remember what caster did he play? I think he might have played Kyrax. Yeah, I don't quite remember. 'Cause it was almost 2 months ago. But all I know that it wasn't really that much of a game. I believe I might have dropped Firequill, and yeah, I don't think I accomplished too much there. Um,
I've
or
got
I
the
think I
Longshanks pulled up. Your game against Phil was Firequill into Lilith. Your game against Sean was
Lilith.
Firequill into Sepsira.
Okay, yeah, Firequill into Sepsira. That one was a bit of a slog. obviously it's a whole bunch of dudes. Me trying to shoot into a whole bunch of dudes. I just didn't have. I don't think I
Just the
had enough
most
time.
dudes.
Right? Yeah, I did. Again, with Fire Quill, it's so many activations, and so much. And it gets worse when you have to remove that many models. And I think I just ran out of steam, um, mentally. Um, so that yeah, I definitely lost that one as well. And then the last game was into Trey. That one I do remember a little better. Um, this one I did play Foul Blood. I was trying a Foul Blood list, mm, with a king and a bunch of dudes. And I didn't hate it. The king going up to armor, is it 24 in melee? Yeah, it's 24 in melee. It's definitely something, in the right matchup. And
Shadow Tongue wasn't it though?
no, no, Shadow Tongue was not it. But I still didn't think I did horrible. I My mind was I'm not tournament. Even after 2 tournaments that I've played in the last couple months, I'm not tournament ready. Um, Round 3 usually it's me making lots of mental blunders, and I think I played correctly. It's just I would get hung up on certain plays, and that's definitely my biggest struggle is just getting hung up on something and not, going into the tank for way too long. I ended up I wanna say I had a scenario lead on that, but then it became 'cause I believe this was Fault Line, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh, Hang on, my phone.
It was either Fault Line or it was another, um
Round 3 was Fault Line. Yes.
but yeah, it was Fault Line. I went up on scenario, he came back, and then I just took too long trying to I coulda we coulda just gone, and done the back and forth because at that time, I think we were fairly even on time. I saw this assassination and I kinda fixated on it, and it was more complicated than I initially thought. 'Cause he was sitting that was the other thing is that Trey was sitting on 0 camp with, with Shadow Tongue, and I had a way to get to him. It just wasn't there was a few models in the way, and I didn't visualize it correctly, and I think I made a couple mistakes, and it just sort of, my time just evaporated, and then, after that, I was like, alright, I guess I guess I'm
Wins out
done."
wins out of
Yeah.
your sails.
Yeah, yeah. It's being so close to achieving something, and then it's just, you make an error that just throws the whole plan out of whack.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah.
can be hard not to fixate on the assassination when your enemy caster is naked.
Right, right, and it's Shadow Tongue. He's like he has victim stats. Um, but I think the play if I would have kept going with the plan, I had a good chance of, squeezing that out. It was a fairly even match, but,
Yeah,
um
one thing I'm like kind of trying to internalize more, and this was kind of like illustrated even more in game I had against Kyle yesterday, was that it's like if even if the scenario is pretty dead, it's like seize on your scenario advantages, and you only go for the assassination really if it's a really good odds assassination or if like you're running out of other options. right? Like
Right.
if you're having a fairly even game, then keep it even. Don't
Yeah.
don't go for it just because just because it's there. You know what I mean? And I struggle with that too because it's like, yesterday it's like I saw Kane on zero camp and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna kill that guy, and then it's like, well, you still need an 11 even boosted to hit, and if you miss your like that's kind of it, and it's like, well, you lost the coin flip. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because last night's game against Trey, where I was playing the childless, they call it the housing crisis. I like to call it the my parents are divorced starter pack because you get you get two
Oh,
homes, you get to live in two
with the
homes.
child.
Yeah, with the child.
Wait, you would have to call it that with the child.
Yes, yes. um, so I had probably a couple of turns where I could have tried to go for the assassination. Like the houses they were in range of Fire Quill, and they can just pull him if they end up connecting, and it's game over after that. Um, but I saw where I could get a scenario advantage and possibly not lose much, and I went for it, and it worked. Granted, Trey is not familiar with the matchup, and sort of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, committed a little bit, but not enough to actually do work. And I was able to take his Abyssal King and still have 2 slaughterhouses on the board, going up 3 on, wolves. And him trying to hit me back was it didn't it just it couldn't do enough work, and so I ended up running away on scenario with with it, but yeah, I could have totally went and been like, hey, Sparkle's right there, I'm gonna try and drag him in, I have 2 shots at it. Let's see if it happens. I could have done that, but I ended up not doing it because it's definitely, you want to assassinate where either it's so good that you can't resist it, or you're in the back foot and you're trying to claw your way back and you see it. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Like I think if you're kind of in a like I think if you're in a fairly neutral game, it's like you don't you don't go for the coin flip assassinations in that case. Like even if Kane is camping zero, it's like, oh, if my Eidolon hits him, his dice +6. I want it
yeah,
so bad.
for sure. All right, so I'm done with my my slew of defeats. I was thinking that I was giving up winning games for Lent, and but I've won a couple of won a league game and then a casual game, so I
Oh
can't say
well,
that anymore.
I mean, it's like what you're allowed to break it on Sundays or something like that.
Yes.
Um, and Easter's this coming weekend as of recording, so you
Yep.
can you'll be able to win all your games at poker. It's great
Oh, for sure, for sure.
because
1
you've
and
been
7. 1 and 7, baby. Let's go for that again.
uh Kyle. You were also at our local steamroller.
Yeah, yeah, I played Gravediggers for that,
Hey,
and
you play games?
not as often as I would like. But yeah, I played Gravediggers, Kane 4, and Hasker. I really enjoyed. I played Hasker once, Kane twice. I ended up 1 and 2 on the day. I need more practice with Kane. He's one of those casters where, yes, he does a lot of stuff, and yes, he is good, but he just dies if you get a beat on him, or I don't know. I need more reps with it to see what it can and can't handle. I know we played yesterday, and that was rough. I can say your anti-gun line list is definitely anti-gun line.
Yeah, it's kind of come into existence out of necessity.
Yeah, and it looks like it's kind of fun to play.
It
As far
is.
as much fun as a Seraphel list can, but taking 4 Eidolons is cool.
The game is called Warmachine, and I finally get to take my Warmachines.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I played into let's see, 2 Buffalo guys and Trey. So it seems like John and you and me played Trey on that day.
Oh,
And a lot of like my first game into Orgoth, I was pretty far ahead. It's just positioning. So it's just kind of recognizing those things where putting myself in places I don't need to be, or putting other models near me that don't need to be. So lessons learned, and I'll take that to Boker and see how things go.
We want to iron these out now rather than at Boker.
Yeah, come on, live a little. But yeah, no, I haven't gotten any other events. I know you did. I don't know if you really touched on it, but I know you ran the Syracuse one. How did you feel? Did it feel like it was pretty smooth running that with the new packet?
Yeah, the running the event was very smooth, especially like, this is the second event we've done at this store, and this time we actually had enough time in the day to get through all our rounds. So we didn't have to abbreviate the third round like we did last time, which, I mean, I know is annoying for a lot of those involved, especially those who like to kind of play the long game. But we that this time the store was more appropriately staffed. We had an earlier start time now that we knew that we could come in the day before and set up tables, and we got off to a pretty quick start. Uh, Most of the judge calls that I received throughout the day were actually just like during people's objective setup, as they had to like move terrain pieces around, and just kind of flagged me down to have me do the least disturbance rather than one of them, which I think is valid. Uh, and it's like if I had more time to set up the tables and all, I would have done a bit more of like okay, let's measure out some scenarios on this table just to see where everything falls. But it's like I kind of had to come in on Friday, throw terrain onto 6 different tables, and hope that was good enough, because I had to kind of squeeze that in between work and the store closing. But I think all things considered, that went pretty smoothly. There were a couple other judgment calls, which was just some things like like I got called to one table and was like asking like are these 2 models within an inch of each other, and I was like, all right, hand me the widget. Each of you place a finger on top of the model, and I push the widget between the bases. It bumped. I was like, yep, they are within an inch of each other, and that was all I had to do. So it was just like very smooth sailing. Y'all made it a little too easy for me.
That's good to hear, though.
Yeah. It like running events, I have found, kind of scratches the same itch as DMing in D&D. Where it's like I like playing D&D and other RPGs and all, but I also like running the game. So, but it is kind of like you on the other hand, it's like you are spending all day watching other people have a lot of fun.
yeah, it's definitely different. I noticed when I ran some events earlier in Mark IV. Um, I wasn't sure what the experience would be like, but I mean, I didn't hate it. It was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
and so like if your local community is like looking for someone to kind of take the reins on running events, I can tell you that it's not as intimidating as it seems. Everyone who comes like the larger Warmachine community is great, and everyone is kind of there to just play some games and have a good time. So like everyone is kind of ready to like kind of meet you where you are, as it were. So like yeah, everyone is uh, there to be helpful and make sure everyone has a good time. So it's really not as intimidating a prospect as it seems.
Yeah, I think the disbanding the press ganger is as much as it sucked, um, it did kind of force us to all become press gangers, really, in some way or another. Like before, you would have one person and they'd be like, keep everybody in check or whatever. And now there's just everybody because they know that there's no press gangers. Like everybody tries to pitch in as much as possible. Um, but
Yeah,
I,
I can't remember where I heard this, but it's like it's relevant to like any game or really any community that you play, whether it's whether it's a tabletop game, an RPG, or like I don't know, online shooters or something like that. It's like your value to a community is the number of people you bring in minus the number of people you drive away.
mm, yeah, that's good way to think about it.
So if you want to be thinking of it that way, like that's a pretty good heuristic, I think. And I think yeah, it does kind of fall on all of us to sort of be press gangers. When people like I think we've all been pretty good about that when people ask about Warmachine when we're at the store.
Mhm.
Because we're still kind of new there, so like a bit of a novelty to like the 40K players or passersby. It's like, oh, what's this all about? And I think we've all been pretty good about taking the time to sort of talk a little about it, even in the midst of play, uh, because I think it's more important to foster interest than like whatever your Tuesday night pickup game is.
And I think our tables are definitely doing the job of catching people's eyes. I've noticed that people are like, "Oh, what's going on over there? It's actual terrain. Look at that. Wow."
40K players getting sick of L-shaped ruins. Um, I gotta bring the. It's been a while since I brought the Phantasm out to open play. I should
Ooh.
bring him again because that usually it's like it's models like that kind of get people to pass by and be like, oh,
Oh,
what's this
for
all
sure.
about?
For sure. So how many times how many more jokes can I make about the Phantasm?
We haven't played each other since it came out, John.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we played that one Vilkul game against.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay,
Okay.
you get two
We
more
got
games.
two more. Okay.
I gave you three, and that's the only one we've played.
Okay.
I
You
should have
even
put it.
forgot you even
I should have
forgot
put
your
it on a time.
Phantasm.
I should have put it on a time scale rather than a game scale.
Could be like 2 years from now.
I guess we gotta. I gotta drop Helith into you now.
There we go. You're quiet.
Yeah, it's late. I'm tired. But anyways,
Keep us moving then.
yeah. So, well, I mean, we just went over a lot. Just kind of that. But I mean, Adepticon just happened recently. That was obviously a major event, and I think we kind of see where things are settling more. Uh, Now that we're 3 months in. game wise. And it seems, I mean, Infernals is still up there. Brine Blood seems to have found their pairing finally after last year.
All hail Andy.
As we were saying, John, Firequill got popular, and John was like, "I'm out."
Peace. No, I still love Firequill. He's a lot of fun to play.
But yeah, none of the numbers are like super surprising. I am, I mean, the sample size. I mean, there was what 80 players in the Iron Gauntlet qualifier. So
The attendance. I thought that was great.
yeah. I mean, they sold out of the events, and then they expanded. I think this was to get to 80. I think that was one, maybe two expansions. I don't remember at this point. But anyways, yeah, 80 players for that. And I saw pictures and some videos. Seemed like it was a really good time. Great run events. I mean, it's run by Travis, so of course.
Yeah.
And something else happened there, the keynote, and I know we've talked about a few things with it. I know some of the models we're excited for, stuff like that. Is there anything else in there that you guys saw that you're very excited for things to come?
Well, I'm pretty excited for new Imperatus. I will say that I wish if they were going to call it Imperatus, that its design kind of harkened back a bit more to Imperatus's original design. But I'm excited to have him back. And apparently, at the AMA, they said that sooner rather than later, we'll be getting sixth casters for House Callus and Sea Raiders.
Ooh.
So that's exciting to hear. And I was like, oh, if the new character Jack is Imperatus, maybe Viros is coming back.
Yeah, from what I understand from the AMA, they kind of touched on it a little bit, I believe. Basically, Imperatus's body was destroyed, but they were able to salvage his cortex, which they then threw into this new chassis.
Mm-hmm.
So, in lore, it would still have all of the quirks that Vortex's Warjacks have. I don't know if Retribution Warjacks had quirks like some of the human ones or not, because the magic was different.
Well, yeah, and they ultimately only had a couple character jacks at the end of things. They had Imperatus, well, I mean in comparison to other factions, but there's they had Imperatus, they had Hypnos and Discordia, and then Moros and blanking on the name now, but it was Assyria's empowered arc node jack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea at this point.
But they as far as I know, they never featured in the lore much really, except for when it's oh, this caster is here and so is their warjack, So yeah, I can definitely see that working, and then also just kind of it works with the fiction of the Phoenix, where it's okay, it was destroyed and now it is reborn. But it is just kind of a thing where it's all the they've done a really good job, I think, of having the new 80mm versions harken back to their original designs, but with but while also making it new. I know it was controversial, but I was a big fan of Behemoth's tank treads. I thought that was rad. But so for Imperatus to just kind of be something that doesn't visually do anything that the original Imperatus did, besides the double swords thing, that's a little disappointing. But I'm still really excited for rules.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have to wait too long. Probably the next couple months.
I made a post in the trash court earlier today that's that we have to hope and pray for Imperatus rules, and it'll be just like old times when we were waiting for Phantasm. Yeah, I think that one will be sooner rather than later because, like, unlike the other announced ones, they actually had like a painted model for it.
Oh,
Like the Shadow Flame one they had concept art for, I think, and the Brian Bloods one they had like a digital render, but for Imperatus it was a painted model.
I'm excited for that one. Old scuttlebutt.
What's the
I was gonna say,
scuttlebutt?
you're excited for Scuttlebutt, right?
I am so excited for scuttlebutt. He
Hey
looks so
everyone,
derpy.
I'm going to touch the butt.
Actually, Scuttlebutt. They had the artwork and the 3D render, and I know some
Yes.
people commented that they were sad that the little seagull that was underneath Scuttlebutt disappeared in the 3D render from the artwork.
Oh, I was hoping. Ugh.
So maybe they'll throw that in.
Regardless, I'm painting it like that hermit crab from Moana. And
Yes.
I'm gonna sing shiny.
Hey, like I remember someone asking something like just in general. It's like, well, what are they gonna do for an 80 millimeter for Brian Bloods? It's like they have the great old one who's a crab, and then it's like the next thing would be the Abyssal King, which is like an octopus. It's like what's the like what and Chum is a shark. Like what other sea creatures could there be? And I just sort of fired off an even bigger crab. And who was right? Who turned out to be right?
Right, yep. Different kind of
Carcinization
crab,
comes to
but
Warmachine.
everything becomes crab.
It's crabs all the way down.
Some of the other stuff they talked about, solos that they admitted that they completely forgot about from last year's Adepticon. So we will see if they come out this year.
I'm glad the Hellslinger Phantom's going to work for House Callus. I don't know why he's going to work for House Callus, but I like it.
Just because he's undead.
It's funny how the tradition continues that Hordes gets forgotten about.
Oh no, these were like full-on Warmachine factions too. Like there was the
Oh,
dwarf.
really?
Yeah, there was the dwarf
yeah,
that was
that's
supposed to work
true.
for
Yeah.
like Storm Legion, Gravediggers. I want to say maybe Kador and Rule Guard.
Mm.
I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, that was one of them. Then they had, what was it, a breach action crossbow gun or something it looked like. I don't remember.
I sort of like
The concept
skimmed
art.
through.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, and that was one of the things. I was like, oh, it's cool, and they didn't spend a lot of time on it, which is fine because they had other
Yeah.
things that were really cool to get to.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about Menoth kind of leapfrogging over Reaper Covenant?
I mean, the people want it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
My main concern with it is that one of the starter sets is supposedly Fane of Nero and Reaper Covenant. And there's like even like from trolling like the through the like official Discord and stuff like that, it's like it seems like there's a lot of people out there who like bought into Reaper Covenant because they liked the look of the Gravebound Cadra. And now like there's just not going to be an army for them for until over a year from now.
Well, the thing is, we don't actually know that because they're Adepticon, they're not giving all the spoilers. Because here in a month, maybe 2 months, is Lock and Load EU, which they need to have things to reveal at. So we still might, I doubt it, just from a production standpoint, but they might double it up.
I mean,
to
they
get
pushed
that.
back Kithgard so far. I don't think, I don't think the idea of doubling up on major army releases like that is really a thing that's in the cards.
That would
Yeah,
make it 4 new armies this year.
I mean that was their timeline last year was 4, which was very
Really?
aggressive.
Yeah, that's super aggressive. I was thinking 2.
But if you
Two's
think
what they
about it,
got.
they did rework, 3 or 4 different armies already this year with the releases of the 3D printed stuff too.
Yeah, but that's different. That they don't have as many, like, the production costs aren't there.
It is different. It's not the its own mechanics and yeah, no, I know that. I'm just they are putting time into these older factions too, so it's making it a little more difficult to probably hit these other parts.
That makes sense.
Um, Something I'm excited for. I don't know about you guys. I've already printed most of the spear of it. I have a small printer, so I'm pretty limited on what I can and can't do without chopping it up into a bunch of mini pieces. Is the Warmachine 3D printed cosplay stuff? Um, I just think it's really cool. Of course, they chose Menoth to start.
Is that what's available? It's just Menoth or
It's just Menoth. It's a Temple
Oh,
Flame
okay.
Guard. It's
Oh,
the
okay,
full
just his
suit of. It's got the spear, the shield, and the full suit
Oh,
of
nice.
armor.
Nice.
I had my buddy who has a bigger print bed print a helmet, so I gotta get that down and all glued and start sanding and doing the seams and stuff.
Nice.
But the spear, I'm just gonna get something. They say I think a 25 millimeter rod, which I can't just go to Home Depot and get a 25 millimeter rod because it's like 0.98 inches.
Mm.
And I have a 1-inch dowel and it does not fit, so I really don't want to sand down a 4 foot or longer dowel that much
Why not?
because it sounds miserable. I mean, I have power tools, sure, but still.
Sensing a lack of commitment here, man.
Yes, I would. Well, I have to use my energy other places for other things, like getting my gravediggers painted for Boker. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm
Why
very
aren't you
excited for
painting
that.
now? Why are you talking to us?
I don't know.
Get to it.
I guess we could delay it another month, right? Well, we just talk about everything after Boker, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Record at Boker.
We were joking that we did a year in review. We're we're gonna skip to the other year in review. That'll be our next cast.
Here's your 6 month spotlight of what's happened.
Yes. And we're doing all the the armies again.
In a couple months, we'll have another post. It'll be the first one since this one, and it's just me singing a cover of "Still Alive" from Portal.
That's a song I haven't heard in a long time.
Don't worry, we're still alive.
Yup. But yeah, no, Adepticon looks like it was a great time. Lots of stuff coming out of there. We have Lock and Load EU coming up. Um,
Anything you're particularly excited for, John?
What I saw from Fane of Nero was really cool. I already kind of talked about that. I really like the aesthetic of it. I feel like it's gonna bring, from what they talked about, it's gonna bring a different style of play that we probably haven't seen, which I'm all for that. I like the unique play styles. And then even though we only saw a couple models, Menoth looks awesome. Not necessarily stuff that I will play. Never say never, but I'm excited for it. And then a little more information about the press gang. That I thought that was cool. Looks like they're making it fairly simple, which I like. It's basically just gonna be through Longshanks. And you're gonna accrue points for events that you run, and then you get free swag like with the points, which is I think it's pretty neat. It's fairly low commitment from them. I just didn't. I felt like this could have been a lot more complicated, and maybe low commitment's not the right word to use. It's not super complicated. It's it's a little bit of an incentive for people to run events, but not making it, like I said, super involved and complicated.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Well, and
Um,
it makes it easier for people to get involved because if you're if the more of a capital T thing it is, then it's like, oh, do I want to commit to being a press ganger and all that? And it's like, well, no, you don't have to commit to anything. You just get points
right.
for running events.
Yeah. I think it sort of like fortifies the dynamic we have now of multiple people stepping in and running events.
Hmm.
Instead of like, all right, you can be the press ganger, and I'll kind of just like go back to just playing games, and now it's like we can all be press gangers. Like
Right. And
we just
I know as a community have lucked out where so many of our numbers are willing to run events.
right.
Uh, so we've already kind of been sharing the load in that way, and this this does sort of codify that. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff, and the thing is that we're gonna get these keynotes more often now because we have two lock and loads coming up. One in the UK and one here in November. So we'll get tidbits of stuff to come. I mean, it's exciting, and yeah, I'm very very excited about the future. War Machine. It's looking very bright. That's for sure.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, Gamma, they were what, third or something like that, third or fourth for
Oh yeah, they
sales.
made they made a big jump, didn't they?
Oh yeah, it was what was number two? Because I think it was at 40K at
BattleTech,
the top. Oh, it was BattleTech. Okay.
yeah, BattleTech's going to be up there for quite a while.
I mean, I don't mind losing out to BattleTech. BattleTech is cool.
It is cool. It is. But yeah, no, it's numbers are going up. They talked about that. So it's exciting times. I mean, I'm seeing more and more communities popping up, more players coming out. We've actually gotten a couple new guys who are coming out a little more consistently now too. So that's really exciting.
Yep.
So the community's growing slowly, but we'll get there. I know we got a demo day coming up after Boker Brawl. So I'm hoping to get a few more people in there. And it seems like a lot of players are returning to the game now because they're seeing the success of the game that has been happening.
Yeah, for sure.
So, any personal thoughts on kind of the current state of not like the game at large, but I guess the current meta that we found ourselves in. It's so when you we are in a rackless world now. Uh, how have you felt the game has adjusted to that?
I didn't know what it was going to look like post, no racks, and I was concerned about just a small pool of casters being viable, because they would have the tools needed for whatever meta we have going on, and I felt like that's a little bit of the opposite. I see a lot more. Yeah, you still have your popular casters out there, but I think I see a lot more variety as a whole. I don't know, maybe we won't be saying the same thing 6 months from now, but to me, at least for now, it seems that way. It could be a product of people trying new things out and see what works, but, yeah, it's interesting. The whole, uh, gunline meta thing is kinda weird, um, and I guess, we'll see how that shakes out. There were some predictions out there that, mid-year it'll like, this is a product of an unsettled meta, and, it should level itself out, mid-year, but I guess we'll see, but
So like my understanding is that like the meta can be a bit cyclical. Like,
Mhm,
right now we're in a gun line meta, and then it's like gun line meta ends up kind of getting replaced by like a more jack heavy meta because your high armor, lots of boxes models are better into guns. And then jack heavy meta gets replaced by like infantry machine because jacks don't have the volume of attacks necessary to deal with massed infantry, and then infantry machine gives way to gunline meta. Yeah, so like
yeah,
it. Uh,
which is interesting too because the scenario packet is I think it wants you to diversify, but it wants you to spread out, and, I think battle group heavy right now is you can play it, but you're gonna struggle into some scenarios for sure, and to have a meta that incentivizes, playing a lot of models so you can spread out, and then having a gunline dominant meta, I just think it's kinda funny.
mm.
Um,
Well, that might be why I have been having some success with Cyrafel here because she's got strong scenario game and can spread out while playing Jack Heavy. So like I have kind of found her to be sort of perfect for attacking the current meta, just because like you can with her defensive upkeeps and like the void engine and the eidolon's glow up, you can like just stack def and arm,
mm,
uh, and then with things like rhythm of war, you can spread out and uh, force blast and feet to keep things off objectives. And she's actually kind of like it's been kind of illustrated to me, especially through Cyrafel, just how much the rack was kind of holding back the design space a lot. Because like ultimately, like very little about her has changed. Like they fixed her feet to make it not feel so bad to use, and then like her like bespoke, like she has all the same bespoke spells that she had in the rack era, but they added force blast, which is great, and polarity field, which is very situational. But so like very little about her has changed, but because I can now build a list around a more explicit kit, like that just makes the list building aspect so much more fun to me. Because
mm.
before it was sort of like, well, all of my casters have battle lust, so
That I definitely, agree with that and understand it. So one of their goals was to, if I remember correctly, when they announced that the Brax were gonna go away, and that they were going to bring, lethality down a little bit, one of their goals was to sort of minimize or, I'm not sure if, like, getting rid of completely, but trying to alleviate this whole, like, cat and mouse, like, dance of armies where, there was, like, very little commitment till the end of the game, which caused for a, kind of a boring game played, it's at least from SFG's eyes, that seemed
Mhm.
to them that way. I'm wondering if people are feeling a change in that, or if it's just different but the same.
Well, I do feel that the games I've played have been fairly dynamic. Um, and it's kind of like I've had more games go to later turns.
Mm,
You know, last year I rarely saw turn 4, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um this year so far I've been seeing it fairly regularly. So I think there is something to that. I think it's like you're losing less in the alpha, so you have more stuff on the table to make late game interesting.
Yeah, I guess I haven't gotten there yet where I could go later turns, but that's a me problem.
But yeah, I think it has kind of felt like you're still removing a lot of models from the table if your opponent gets the alpha. But
Right.
I have felt more like, in the aftermath to that, it's like, well, okay, it's still a game of Warmachine.
Mhm.
As opposed to like, okay, well, I got a couple dudes in my caster left.
Yeah. Maybe it
Um,
just feels like now, because they call it rocket tag before. It's like if you put something somewhere, it was going to die. But now it's like, before it was like it was going to die and you lost very little. So that interaction didn't happen. Whereas now it's like, sure, it's going to still die, but it requires you to commit more. So the retaliation is also going to hurt. Um,
right, and also this is kind of why we found ourselves in gunline meta, right? Because like gun shooting is a lot less committal than melee. Uh,
right.
so you're stacking up on guns so that you can do damage without committing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like because it is funny like that, like all the accuracy reductions, it's like rat ended up being like a lot of rat. There's a lot of rat 5 out there now.
Mhm.
And I remember like even back in Mark II, like rat 5 was just like, why would you take this? It's not going to hit anything. So yeah, so the fact that we ended up in gunline meta with the accuracy reductions was a bit of a surprise to me, but in hindsight it makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
because of how much because just that little extra bit of commitment that it takes to remove something in melee now is enough to really change the math on that.
Any thoughts on that, Kyle? Uh-oh. We lose Kyle.
Welp.
I think he fell asleep.
Oh man.
Nope, I'm muted. So,
Nice.
Rest in peace, Kyle.
yeah. I mean, it is.
We bored.
Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
We bored him to death.
No. It's. I mean, just a lot to cover. I mean, it's been a minute, so we're just
Yeah.
enjoying talking about the game. But I honestly think we're pretty settled at this point. There's going to be some changes as more of these factions come out. As more Kithgard comes out, I think you'll see some changes there, adjustments. But I I think we're going to be pretty settled. Because at least for stateside, you got the Boker Brawl, and then teams that are prepping for WTC. So it looks like it's going to go major events. You got Boker Brawl, Nova. So there's a good gap there. So I mean, things could definitely change in that. Um, and then after Nova, you have WTC, and then lock and load. So Those are the major ones that I'm aware of. Is there any other big events you guys can think of?
LVO.
When's
Right,
LVO now?
That's in October now, isn't it? Or
I believe so, yeah. Used to be the season opener.
Yeah, now it's Captain Con.
right.
But yeah, no, I would like us to, record a little more often, so we're not having to go over like 6 different tournaments or whatever.
It was 4, Kyle.
True, math is hard. This is Warmachine. Do you think we read or count?
Yeah, if we record more often, we could have like shorter episodes and not be up till 1 a.m. recording them.
Very true.
It's funny, like this is totally off topic, but I just realized I'm looking through all these events that are happening. I just realized someone used the Photoshop picture that I made with it's got Madrak holding a thing of beer. Someone used it to do their event. I'm like, aw.
Cite your sources, man.
That's
Like
funny.
I remember doing that for I think it was what was it, one of our
One of our
brewery
brewery ones,
tournaments.
right?
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
the brewery closed. That's right. No.
Yeah. Yes. That's sad. We had some good games and good memories there.
Oh yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yep. Still have a food machine. It'll just be somewhere else.
Yep. Is there anything else you guys want to cover? I mean, we've covered a lot over this hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. As far as podcasting goes, we're working on, well, we're brainstorming on a series of uh, podcasts. We won't announce it yet, but it's gonna be a little more perennial, a little less of army breakdowns. Um, but look for that in the future. And I know we've got something on the video portion of it, right, Kyle? That's gonna happen soon.
Yes. Yep, we're in the planning phases and it's going to happen very, very soon. Probably again after Boker Brawl, and then we can really dig into it.
Yeah.
We're beginning to conceptualize the visualization process. That's the hard part.
Yep, once we get it down, we'll be good after we figure out exactly what we want.
For sure. Yeah. And once in a while, I'll throw in some meme videos like the one I threw out for Grimkin.
Have you posted a picture of your proxy, John?
No, I have to. Yeah, I have to. I wanted to
You
troll.
have to.
I wanted to troll Seth with
It's
it.
literally no notes. It's perfect. And you should just post it and tag Seth. Is this tournament legal? He'll love it. Absolutely love it.
Eric, you were gonna say something about our future content. Sorry, I kind of derailed us a little bit.
I forgot, so I'm just gonna say Deuce is still bullshit.
Deuce is bullshit. Oh,
Fair and
that guy
balanced.
so much. And I'm about to have my
2
my
whole
son-
balance updates and not even touched.
He went down a mat.
2 whole balance updates and not even touched.
Thank you guys for coming on and doing this. I know it's been a while. I'm glad we're able to finally get the band back together.
Yeah.
As usual, I always say it. Go if you're looking to get a game in. You don't know if you have a community. Go just search Warmachine Community Finder. It's a Google site. You look in your area. There's probably a group or someone who is looking for a group, and you can link up that way. And if there's not, put a pin on there. Maybe there's other people in your area.
Hot Warmachine players in your area.
Probably single.
Oh dear. Pop-up ads.
We got to make money somehow, right?
Yeah.
Not podcasting.
All the money we get from podcasting.
Yes.
Well, guys, it was a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah.
Next time, let's do it a little earlier so I'm not falling asleep. Or,
Yeah.
forgetting I have my mic muted.
We'll have to do it. I just have to be done by a certain time if we do it earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to come up with a sign off, right?
No. That'll be cheesy.
True.
It's gotta be.
This is Arcane Precision here to remind you that Deuce is still bullshit.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
2 out of 3 agree.
Oh man, I'm outvoted.
2 out of 3 podcasters agree.
Deuce is still bullshit.
I think you'd get a few more than 2 out of 3.
In this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, this one definitely. Well,
there's always a dirty Signar player somewhere. No offense.
Oh, we're out there. We're out there.
There are dozens of us.
There are dozens.
The goose holding the knife. Violence.
Violence was always the answer.
Violence is not the answer. Violence is the question, and the answer is yes.
The answer is Let's get out of here.
All right, thanks, guys.
Oh no, are we rambling?
Yeah, a little bit. Bye.